don't matter. Hopefully y'all are having a blessed, wonderful day full of joy and full of laughter, full of wonderful things across the board. And speaking of joy, since I said joy and laughter, I don't know even how to even say this. But apparently, Reid from MSNBC show got canceled. Interesting, right? Interesting. Apparently, Reid's show got canceled. There's going to be a lot of sad people. Anyway, let's get into it. MSNBC, according to reports, there's that they actually canceled the show. I don't know if this is 100%, but this is what been floating out there. And Reid's show has been canceled. I ain't mad. I ain't going to sit there and hold you. I ain't mad because I just think she was bad. She was just not good at what she did anyway. And I think that a lot of stuff that came out of her mouth was not good for America, wasn't good information, and she had no substance behind what she was saying. And she just threw out a lot of rhetoric and not really having nothing to back up what she was saying. And I just think them canceling her show is probably a good thing for the company. And that's just my opinion on it. But that's, neither here nor there. But I just think at the end of the day, I think it was a good for their company because they're losing a lot of money. And if I'm losing a lot of money, at the end of the day, we got to get rid of what's not working. And, she's one of those people that suffer from Trump deranged syndrome and just couldn't let it go. And another one bites the dust. Yeah, she was. She was extreme Trump hater. And fortunately, the show has probably more likely came to an end, and I'm good with it. I just think she was bad for the country, and she has extreme Trump deranged syndrome. She could not let it go. Every time she had a show, she just had every negative thing you could possibly say about a person, as opposed to having some substance behind what you're saying. And you trying to appeal to a small segment of people and not looking at the whole picture as a whole. What's up, Bag of Rocks? How you doing? God bless you. Welcome in. Welcome in. If you're on this live, please hit the like button. Please hit the subscribe button. Appreciate it very, very much. And, at the end of the day, it is what it is. There's a whole lot of moving parts right now. A lot of stuff is going on from a political perspective. I'm quite sure a lot of people got wind of them talking about possibly giving out a dividend. Well, a form of dividend based on the money that the government has been saving by cutting off the fat in government. Well, Doge has been saving by cutting off the fat in government. And here's the thing with that. I look at the clock, because I don't know if you guys pay attention to it, but the Doge clock, they actually put a Doge clock into the United States deficit clock where you can actually look at the savings that they're saving the country, the American citizens as a whole. Last time I looked, it was about $127 billion that they supposedly have saved American taxpayers sitting in Doge on the Doge clock, if you haven't actually paid attention. Doge is Department of Government Efficiency. That's what it is. And that's money that Elon Musk and them are saying that they're saving American taxpayer. No. Doge is the Department, United States Department of Government Efficiency. That's the way they're naming it. DOGE. Anyway, and my thing is this: is they're talking about possibly giving out a 20% of what they save throughout the year, refunding it back to the taxpayers, which I think is a great idea, as long as there's no strings attached. I'm good with it. If there's strings attached, y'all keep it. Don't give it to me, because I don't want to have to turn around and debate on What's up, Smokes? How you doing? God bless you. Welcome in. Welcome in. If you're on this live, please hit the like button. Please hit the subscribe button. I appreciate it very, very much. Yeah, I'm good with the 5,000 or however much money it is. I just don't want no strings attached. And if you're going to give it back to the taxpayers in the form of refund, as opposed to saying, in the form of, okay, this money was taken from the taxpayers, let's give some of it back to the taxpayers so that they can have some type of financial relief, and there's no no strings attached to it. I'm 100% good with it, because I think the United States of America has suffered in the last 4 years extremely, and that will be very useful money for an individual that's probably still dealing with some financial struggles right now. So yeah, I'm good with it. I just don't want no strings attached. That's my whole point, is give it back to the people it was stolen from, which is the United States taxpayers, in the form of a dividend. I'm good with it. And I agree with them. With that, as that goes, I agree 100% if that's the way it's going to be. But if there's going to be some type of strings attached, I'm good. I'm good. You'll take my share? Yeah, like I said, I'm good with it. I just don't want no strings attached, because when there's strings attached, it's going to do more damage long term than it would if you just it's going to do more damage long term if you're a taxpaying citizen, because you're going to be hit with something later on that you did not see coming. Because most of us don't pay attention to the details when we agree to something. We don't read all of the fine print because we just excited in the moment and just start signing or taking stuff. And then when they come back full circle, like, oh man, if I'd have known that, I wouldn't have did that. Yeah, no, I'm good. But if it's free and clear, I'm good with it. I think that they should do it. But if not, yeah, I'm good. When they was giving out those stimulus checks, I didn't take none of the extra stuff they were talking. No, I don't want it. I don't want it. I just like, nope. I said, because that stuff comes with strings attached, and the strings attached that's coming with, it's going to be worse down the road than it is right now. So whatever I'm suffering with, I'm just going to continue to suffer with it. I'm good. Y'all can keep it. Now, a couple of them, the first check I think I got, but the other stuff that they was actually putting all these clauses in there and say, if you want this, you can. Nah, I stayed away from every last one of it. Nope, I'm good. Because I already know what that come with. But, God bless y'all. If you're on this live, please hit the like button. Please hit the subscribe button. And like I said, I think that's a great idea. If it happens to happen, I know that they're talking about you probably won't see that until next year, because they still have to go through, and Elon Musk agreed to do this for about, from what I understand, a whole year, to just audit all of the departments and try to find savings wherever they could, eliminate jobs that you don't need, eliminate the fat in government that's not useful. Yeah, you can't, and that's just where I'm at with that. You know what I mean? Donald, what's up, Donald? How you doing? God bless you. God bless you. Welcome in. Welcome in. Yeah, man. Good to see you in. Good to see you in. Donald, just to your point, I don't know what's going on, because I had another person said that they were taking down comments. I did give out a few wrenches to people, because I get people that just come in here and start to troll and saying stuff. And I told them, I said, I don't mind. I don't want nobody taking down comments. So I think somebody took your comment down that I might have given a wrench to, that, but I don't take down comments. Just so you know, bro, I don't take down comments unless you're extremely disrespectful or say something like so extreme. I'm like, nah, I can't have this. I usually don't. I will not take down someone's comment, because I welcome opposition. You know what I mean? I welcome people that don't always agree with me. So I'm good with that. If you don't agree. But anyway, $5,000 stimulus. Isn't that socialism? It ain't socialism when you stole it from people. That's payback. But like I said, Donald, if it comes with strings attached, I don't want that. I mean, honestly, I think they should take some of that money. Well, I think they already are going to pay down the debt with it. But I really think Trump has, my personal opinion, Trump has another plan as it relates to paying down the debt, that I don't think he's really doing a whole lot of talking about. This is just something that this is something that I think that he's doing, that he didn't really put a lot of emphasis on. And I'm going to go with, he has another plan when it comes to that. And I think it's a better plan than what they're saying. And that will do that will pay back more, to me, in my opinion, than what he's doing as far as the savings go. What's up, Mike in the building? Mike in the building. Mike is in the building. God bless you, bro. God bless you. Welcome in. Welcome in. Well, here's the thing, Donald. I don't listen. I don't know if you're paying attention to the Doge clock. The deficit is pretty much where it's been. It hasn't come down none. It hasn't done this. I don't know what they're going to do as far as paying down the debt with that money. I know that Mike Johnson mentioned that some of that money should be going down to pay down the national debt, which I agree with him that some of it should go to pay down the national debt. But I really think that Trump, he has another idea, and I don't really want to speak on this. I've spoken on it, but I don't think his plan to pay down the national debt to me is a better plan. I'm just not speaking on it. Eventually, I will reveal what I think his plan is going to be, and I'll probably mention a little later in this video. But my plan, I think his plan to do it is better than trying to use the savings to pay it down. I think it will have a bigger impact on bringing down the national debt than using the savings from all of the government wasteful spending. Now, I think he should use some of it to that. Yeah, I agree. But I think his other plan that he don't really talk about, which I just kind of caught wind of it, you know how somebody talks about they're going to talk about stuff, but they really don't say what their plan is. But if you pay close enough attention, you can kind of get the hints and the clues. This is just my perspective. I don't think anybody else, I don't think that this is 100% what he's going to do. This is just what I got out of it and my perspective of what I think he's got out of it. So my perspective is, Melissa, how you doing? What's going on? God bless you. God bless you. God bless you. Welcome in. Welcome in. My thing is this, and I think Trump is actually, this is just my thought. I don't think I'm 100% correct about this. I just think that Trump is going to use some of the money that he's going after drilling for this oil and stuff to pay down that national debt. I don't think it has nothing to do with what they're doing. Actually, you're wrong, Donald. And I know you probably think you're right, but you're actually wrong about that. I already seen the conversation about it. But we'll leave it as that. We'll leave it as that. But my thing is this, is that we'll leave it at that, and we'll see how it plays out down the road. We got bigger issues right now, and we'll see how it plays out, and we'll see who's wrong and we'll see who's right in that. But I'm going to give that some time, Donald. But I'm going to leave that alone. I know it. Melissa, I already know, but I'm going to leave him again. My thing is this, is that you can spew it out, but eventually the record will eventually show where it's going, what's happening and what's not happening. But I'm going to leave that. I know it does, Melissa. But I'm going to let them, Donald has a right to say what he wants to say. But again, right? But how do y'all feel about Joy Reid's show being canceled on MSNBC? I don't know if y'all know about it or not, but according to reports, they canceled her show. Yeah, I think that's great for America. We once again making America great by getting rid of the people that show was losing a lot of money though at the end of the day. But here's a funny part. I don't know if y'all saw that I was watching this video on X, and I do have a copy of it on my I'm on X. Ron's opinion no matter was on X too, but there was a video on my X page that about the investigation they did on Obama's birth certificate, and they wasn't saying whether Obama's an American citizen or not. That wasn't what this was about. This was about the birth certificate that was presented as his birth certificate, and basically they found out that it was a fraudulent one. It was fraudulent, and I mean and the thing about it is that this thing was put out there a long time ago, and they've been investigating it the whole time. And now we come full circle, and they're saying that it was fraudulent. Now, I don't know how. I watched the video. I watched all the detail, them clipping and showing. They actually mentioned the name of the person who originally birthday it was, and they have like 16 days different between the birth certificates and all of the details that they put in there. I'm like, wow. I'm like, wow. Yeah, like I said, I'm not. Here's the crazy part is that when I looked at the details of what they did, I was like, I'm gonna go with. I think it was fraudulent. Yeah, Melissa, you know what? I didn't get that far into the. I was just really emphasizing on. I was looking at the details of what they were saying in that investigation. I'm like, wow. And they were showing how somebody manipulated that birth certificate and then presented it as a legitimate birth certificate, and it wasn't. And when you look into it, you're gonna be like, wow. If you watch the video, you're gonna be like, oh, okay. You was in the Gulf of Mexico, Donald. What you was doing over there? But yeah, it's crazy, and then it's a lot going on, and I don't know if you guys seen over at a hospital in Pennsylvania, which I'm in Pennsylvania. There was a shooting there. I think one police officer got murdered, killed. I think a couple of them got injured. There was a hostage situation. It was crazy, but any. Oh, okay. Congratulations. Hopefully you had a good time, Donald. Hopefully you had a wonderful time. And, you know, prayer goes out to the family and everybody involved and all the victims and stuff like that. But my thing with this is the reason why I say keeping bear arms is so important. Being able to, what's up, Pro Max? Being able to keep and bear arms is so essential and so important. Now, here's the thing. Everybody has their opinion on this type of stuff. As far as your right to keep and bear arms, normal people that have firearms, that carry and conceal carry, whatever, law-abiding citizens, is not out here trying to hurt nobody. But see, when the situation in that hospital where you got security that don't have no firearms, you got people that's in there that work there that's not allowed to have their firearms. Oh, okay. God bless you, Grayson. People that have security that don't have firearms in the hospital. People that work at the hospital are not allowed to have their firearms at the hospital. But these, again, people that don't follow laws, that have bad intentions, go into a hospital and start shooting and causing damage. Same situation with the schools. And they still will argue and say, oh, we don't want. If somebody at your company don't have bad intentions, they honest and working, all they want to do is protect themselves. Why not allow the people that keep their firearm with them? Because if somebody had a firearm that was an honest, everyday citizen probably could have put a stop to that before the police even got there. Because when you call the police, they're not right there. They got to come. That means that's a 2, 3, 4, 5 minute trip to get there. And in 5 minutes, you know how much damage you could do in 5 minutes with a knife, firearm, or anything. But if you have everyday honest citizens that allow to keep and bear arms and see some craziness like this happening, possibly can put a stop to it, and then the police show up and it's minimum damage as to maximum damage. But no, they'll still kind of spew the rhetoric of, oh, we don't need everybody having guns. If everybody had a gun, who's gonna be wanting to take a shot first? Everyday gun owners don't think that way. I don't wake up and think, oh, you know what? I want to shoot somebody. I want to do it. No, I don't think that way. That's the furthest thing from my mind. No honest everyday citizen is worried about it. And there's another video with a girl, they broke into her house. She had a firearm. And her having that firearm, she got off a few shots. They still shot her and she still caught a couple of them, but she survived, thank God. But she had 2 kids that she was protecting. And I clipped part of the video and put a short out on the news. But that fact that she had a firearm at home was her fighting chance to save her and her kid's life because she had a gun, because she had a firearm. And she wasn't even out in the streets with it. She was in her own home, and they came to get her. They came in there to get her, and she was able to fight them off enough for her and her children to survive. And this is the reason why I tell people keeping and bear arms is very essential. You should not let government and politicians tell you what you can and cannot have. And if you live into a state or county, whatever, and you see them trying to minimize your rights as it relates to firearms, these people, these politicians are tyrannical. They don't care about your life. They care about their life because they got security, they got protection. What's up, Joy Art? How you doing? What's up, Joyce? God bless you. God bless you. Welcome in. If you want this live, please hit the like button. Please hit the subscribe button. I appreciate it very, 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 very much. If you had a firearm and if you had a way of protecting yourself, you could put a stop to a lot of this stuff. This is the type of stuff that we as Second Amendment believers keep talking about. Criminals don't follow laws. They don't care about your laws. They don't care about none of that stuff. When they come to do the damage that they're trying to do, they can care less. They're not going to give you the chance to make a 911 phone call before they decide to do what they're going to do to you. That's why keeping the bare arm is so essential. Even though it has nothing to do with that, it has everything to do with protecting yourself from a tyrannical government. From a tyrannical government. So that's the number one reason. But also to protect yourself from crazy people. People that want to do bad intentions. They have bad intentions. You should be efficient and you should have a firearm to protect yourself. Especially if you're a person that have a mindset you don't want to hurt nobody, but you want to protect yourself and your family. Because these idiots out here are going to keep doing it. They're going to keep doing what they're doing. And the criminals don't care about laws and they're going to keep doing it. What's up? Word up. God bless you. God bless you. What's up, Dank? God bless y'all. Please, if you're on this live, please hit the subscribe button. Please hit the like button. I appreciate it very, very much. And these are the reasons why I keep telling people you need to protect yourself. Make sure you have a firearm. Make sure you're efficient with it. Make sure you're not using it. Go get whatever necessary paperwork you need to have to make sure that you're good. But at the end of the day, criminals don't follow laws. You are responsible for your safety and your family's safety. And you know what, Joyce, you're right. It used to be that way. Now, I didn't grow up in an area where that was common. I grew up in the city of Philadelphia, and the city of Philadelphia, they had guns was taboo in the city of Philadelphia. But the thing is, the people in the city of Philadelphia, guns have a bad reputation because they're used them for bad reasons. So it's very taboo in Philadelphia. And me and probably a few other people feel differently about it. I'm like, okay, I don't see it as taboo. I think it's as a necessity. To me, a firearm is a necessity because I don't trust government that much that I'm going to do. I've seen already in the last 4 years, especially, how tyrannical a government can become. Joe Biden is probably one of the most tyrannical politicians I've ever seen in my life, by far. Yes, and they got strict gun law. And my thing is this is because, and what happens is, Melissa, in the inner cities, they learn about guns the wrong way. That's what happens. And in the cities, their perspective of guns is related to being a gangster, being a drug dealer, or crime and stuff like that. So their concept of owning a gun is related to that, and that's why they're so mixed up in what they're doing. Because that's what they related to. They don't relate guns and firearms to the United States Constitution. They don't relate guns and firearms as a means of protection against government. They don't relate firearms as a means of protection for self-preservation. They relate it to, it makes me a gangster, it makes me tough and somebody, and that's the wrong mentality. And the reason why they think that way, because they're not being educated the proper way about firearms. And that's why they do it. I'm telling you that because that's how I grew up, and that's what they learned. That's how they learn. Now, when in my family or anybody around me, I teach them the right way. I teach them the responsible way. And if they get the right perspective, the chances of them out there doing crazy stuff are less likely. There's so much people use firearms for so many other reasons. But like I said about Joe Biden was the most tyrannical government politician that I've seen in a long time. And I'm going to tell you, when he was running, no one was paying attention to what he was saying. And the stuff that was coming out of his mouth when he was running for president was all tyrannical statements. And the people that voted for him obviously is okay with it. Because his talk about guns and firearms and telling you what you need and don't need is a tyrannical. You are the president of the United States. You don't have no right to tell me anything as it relates to my firearm. None of them do. For real. Because at the end of the day, my right to keep and bear arms is to protect the fact, even though I elected you or we voted for you, it still gives me a right to protect myself from you going tyrannical. So why should you, that I'm supposed to have my right against you, you don't have no say so in that. Government should not have zero say so. And rather you have a firearm and what type of firearms that you have, because the right is to protect you against them. If I'm in war with somebody, and I'm not saying we're in war with the government, but if I'm in war, I'm not going to let my enemy decide what weapon I use. That's the point that I'm making. It don't even make sense. Yes, and that's the whole point that I'm making. There's Joyce, that's exactly the point that I'm making. Meanwhile, they all got firearms around them. Their life has more value to them than your life have to you. They're trying to tell you shouldn't have it. Meanwhile, they got it all around them. And then they want to limit what you have, but they don't want to limit what they have. My thing is this. If you feel that way strongly, then get rid of all of your protections. You do it first. That don't mean I'm going to do it, but you do it first. Lead by example, Joe Biden. Get rid of yours. Lead by example, Kamala Harris. Get rid of yours. All the ones that say that, make sure you don't have no security. Make sure you don't have no firearms, no knives, no weapons, no nothing around you. You do it first. Because your life don't have more value than my life. I don't care how much money you have. I don't care your status in life. Your life does not have more value than mine. So therefore, you don't have the right to tell me what I can and cannot have. That is the point of the Second Amendment, to protect yourself against a tyrannical government. And we have dealt with a tyrannical government, but we didn't really deal with them like we should have. Which is meaning when Joe Biden got up there and said that in order to take on the government, you would need F-15s, in my opinion, the military should have came and pulled him out of office. Because at that point, you threatened harm against American citizens who elected you to put you in position that you was. I don't care if you was joking about it. You shouldn't have said it. And according to our Constitution, that's what the military was supposed to do, and they didn't do it. They failed. Because if you have a politician, any one of them, that becomes that tyrannical when they say something out their mouth, the military is immediately supposed to go remove them. It's not freedom of speech when you're the president of the United States. That's a threat. Let me threaten somebody, Donald, and see and throw out a threat. You can have freedom of speech, but that was a threat. That was not freedom of speech. That was a threat to American citizens. He said, if you're going to take on the government, you're going to need F-15s. Donald, I'm not even going to entertain that one because I know you know better. What gun laws did Joe Biden pass? I know you ain't talking about that. You already know he was the OG of that one. That was his only accomplishment, was banning automatic weapons. He still talks about that. And then that's the reason why the current administration dismantled all of those things that they were trying to do to make it harder and more complicated for everyday citizens to be able to keep and bear arms. That's why right now Trump is trying to make You're right to carry all 50 states without all of that rhetoric in between. He the one who pushed the bill to ban it. Yes, he did. 84 crime bill, bro. 84 crime bill. And he still talks about it. That's his pride and joy. He pushed it. That's why. Now, of course, he can't do it, but he pushed it and it got passed. Well, you know what I mean. The 94. I'm sorry, Melissa. You right. 94 crime bill. I said 84, but you right. It was the 94 crime bill. And you know what? That had done more damage to the black community than a lot of other things. And he was proud of it. He still, even now he was in office, he talked about it. And he knew exactly, and that's my whole point. When Joe Biden and them was in office, the stuff that they was doing was extremely tyrannical, and no one was checking them on it. I saw it when he was running. I said, "Oh, he really think he the king." Yeah, Donald, we know it was passed by Congress, but he was the OG of it. He pushed it. He was the one who pushed it. And he still, while he was in president, he was proud of it. When he was running, he was proud of it. He still keep bringing it up. No, he was the one who introduced the bill. It's still him. He was the OG of it. I know you want to make excuses for Sleepy Joe, but nah, not here. Sleepy Joe was the worst thing, one of the worst things that ever happened, especially to the black community. The blame game, I ain't blaming him. That's for fact. I'm speaking facts. I'm speaking facts. And if you don't think Joe Biden was a tyrannical president, you gotta be out of your mind, bro. All due respect, you gotta be out of your mind. Because he was the one who was forcing everybody to get that jab. He was the one threatening people to get that jab if they didn't get that jab, and he was pushing it, make sure you're going to lose your job, you're going to lose funding. He was doing all of that. Him and his cronies, him and the Democratic Party, they were doing it, pushing it hard. Meanwhile, in the process, no one paid attention to the fact that they was funneling money through Pfizer and them. Billions of dollars. What's up, Mr. H? Oh, they was forced. They were threatening to do it. If you don't get that jab, you losing your job. I know y'all want to debate it, but the facts are the facts. Right. Tyrannical. They forced people to get it, and they was, you don't take this jab, you're not going to have a job, you're not going to this, and they was pushing it hard. That was tyrannical. That was the very thing that the United States Constitution, the Second Amendment, was written for, to protect us from people like that. That was tyrannical. In a country that is supposed to be free, you're being forced and controlled. There's no right to a job. What's up, Mr. H? How you doing? God bless you. If you're on this live, please hit the like button. Please subscribe. There is no right to a job. You don't have a right to take care of yourself? Oh, no, I ain't get the vaccine. I didn't care what they threatened me with. My job was doing that. They were talking that stuff too. I said, let me know when I'm fired. No, I did not. I did not care. And the job that I had at the time was dealing with government contracts. I told them, I said, I don't care. Do what y'all going to do. The only reason why I didn't go as far is because where I was actually working at, it was a lot more Republicans there, which I didn't know at the time. And they fought back. And they wasn't having it. So if they would have did it, they would have lost the vast majority of their staff. Now, some of them did get it. Some didn't. They were still doing all the other stuff, the social distancing and wearing the mask and all the other stuff, which was stupid in itself. I was not doing it. And if that means losing my job, I would have lost my job. I wouldn't care. My health is by far more important than me. It's my health than the job. If I don't got no health, I can't work nowhere. And I did not trust that jab. Not one bit did I trust it. Because I don't trust that government. And I did not trust it. And the funny thing about it is that the people that got the Joe Biden in them who was forcing the jab, all of them was when Trump was in office and they started talking about it, all of them kept saying, oh, I'm not getting the jab, I'm not getting this, I'm not getting the Trump jab. And then all of a sudden now once Joe Biden got in the office, they flipped script. Exactly. It was a money grab. It was an extreme money grab. All that money Pfizer and all of these pharmaceutical companies made off that vaccine was crazy. Because I know for a fact, because I bought their stock when it was dirt cheap, and I made money off of it myself because I knew what the game they was playing. I knew it, and I made money off of it because at the time I said, oh, this is the game they playing, and I jumped right in. And I put what little bit of money I had, I put it in Pfizer, Johnson & Johnson, Moderna, and they all doubled, and Moderna went to crazy, and the other ones doubled. Eventually, I rode out long enough, and I sold it off. Because Biden is the reason why we got into the situation we in right now that we got to get out of. And my thing is this, I hear what you're saying about Biden. My point is, they're the reason why that's why Biden is the reason why we have to undo a lot of stuff. You funny. Biden deranged syndrome. If I have it, that's cool. I might have it, might not. I don't know. It don't matter to me. I don't have no hate to Biden. I don't like people trying to rule like kings. That's it. I don't care who you are. I don't have no hate for Biden, but I know what I'm not going to change the fact that he messed this country up extremely. And that don't just affect me personally. That affect all American citizens. But it's all right. It's wonderful right now because all of that's getting undone. Slowly in some cases, fast in others. Look at that border right now. The border crosses have dropped extremely. 90-some%. Deportations are taking place as we see. They're not just letting them, we're not funding it no more. We're not putting money in these illegal immigrants' hands no more. Handing them all the stuff that should be for American citizens who paid into a system. Trump call himself a king. Ain't nothing wrong with calling yourself a king, but you ain't gonna rule like no king. There's a difference. I can call myself a king, but there's a difference in how you rule. I'm not worried about what you say. I'm talking about how you rule. So if you rule like a king, Joe Biden never called himself a king. He ruled like one. He thought he was one. They're not undocumented. They're illegal. They're criminals. You come across the road without permission, you are a criminal. So undocumented. So if I come into your house without ID, that's okay? Since I don't have ID? Humans are illegals. So you saying, Mr. H, so can I come into your house with ID without permission? Since you don't own your house or a place of residence, whatever it is, house, apartment, I can come in your place with no permission. I don't need permission to come in. I don't need an invitation to come in your house. I'm asking you that. Do I need an invitation to come in your house? So everything that you have is everybody else's. So I can come in your house, drive your car, eat your food, do everything that I'm saying without no permission. I don't need permission. That's my question to you, Mr. H. Well, I hear what you're saying, Donald, but his approval rate is at an all-time high right now. Exactly. You're right, Melissa. There isn't. I know, Donald. You the king of the trolling. Yeah, that the money that has been spent on illegal immigrants is ridiculous. And okay, you might not be, but we love you though. We're glad you hang out with us. We appreciate you, Donald, for real. We really do. Appreciate you. Yeah, it is. It's like I think the last time I heard, I think it was like 22%. The Democratic Party, their approval rate is down to 22%. I know. No, I'm kidding around with you. Like that's just what we call the troll because you have an opposite opinion. That's all that is. King, my point is that you stand on your ground and you don't bend, and we appreciate it. That's the point that I made. It's not that you're trying to troll to be sarcastic or smart. It's just you stand on yours, and I appreciate it. That's it. We all agree to disagree, and we all have our opinion, and I appreciate it. Where you getting your information from? Oh no, I agree. You're right. Just because you stand against it don't mean you're a troll. I didn't mean troll in a negative way. It just honestly is out of respect because I got a lot of respect for you because you don't. My point is that you don't you stand on what you believe, and that's the best way I can explain it. And you stand on what you believe, and that's good. I respect that, and that's real talk. I respect it. But yeah, that's back to what I was saying about the Second Amendment. And when you see these situations with the hospital, and you see these situations with this girl that I was talking about, where they come into our house and attack her. Yeah, and they come into our house and they attacked her. I urge Americans, if you're an American citizen, if you're a law-abiding citizen, make sure you're good. Like honestly speaking, make sure you're good. Make sure you're good, and that's real talk. As I, we got some loose cannons out here, and at the end of the day, you don't want to be that person that listens to people that say you should not have a firearm, you should not have the right to keep and bear arms, and then these type of lunatics come around and do some crazy stuff like they did at the hospital or like they did at that lady's house, and then next thing you know, you're not prepared for it. And that's why I say, outside of everything, most of the stuff that we talk about, rather we talk about politics and stuff like that, and we have our agreements and disagreement. Please, the one thing I think, even Donald, me and him kind of agree on this is that the right to keep and bear arm, there's no compromise there. And if there's anything that me and him agree on, I'm not quite sure Joyce, Melissa, and all the other ones on here probably no, I'm quite sure feel the same way. Make sure y'all good. That's it. I mean, at the end of the day, make sure you good and ready. You good and ready. Like I honestly, I got to get back to the range and freshen up myself just to make sure I keep stay as sharp as I can. And stay as fresh as I can. But yeah, and so again, I according to the Doge clock, $127 billion in savings so far. I mean, that's according to the Doge clock, which is when you go on there and you look. But what the other thing I want to talk about is that at the end of the day, when we look at what's going on politically and stuff, one thing I know I'm doing is as it relates to my finances and my investment strategy, and this is just me. Okay. But yeah, as it relates to financial services, I'm definitely making some investment moves that hopefully play out the way that I want them to play out. And that's the other reason why I say you should pay attention, regardless of how you feel, pay attention to what these politicians are saying, pay attention to where the government intend to move and shift and go. And hopefully you can financially benefit from it down the road too. You guys are going back and forth at each other about this. Yeah, yeah. You know, Melissa, you already know Donald, he hates Trump. I don't think he really hates Trump, but he just, he has his stance on there. But like I said, so that's the other thing I'm in. My mind is, and I need to focus on where the government's move, what's going to happen. So I've been taking some strategic moves myself financially to try to make some money under the Trump campaign. I mean, not campaign, but presidency, and where I hear them talking about and where I see things are going. And I've been buying up some stocks in different companies that I think are, just in my opinion, might make a difference and for me financially. And we'll see how that plays out. But like I said, so far I'm good with that. I'm good with the way I see Trump is moving. I honestly, is it going to be perfect? No. Is it going to be satisfy or help every single person in the United States? No. But for the vast majority of American citizens, this is the right direction to go. We needed to get rid of these illegals. They need to go bye-bye. We need to stop all of this money we've been paying for these hotel stays and welfare and Medicare and all of this other stuff that these illegal immigrants were getting. We needed to put a stop to it, and I'm glad we did. The number one priority for America should be the everyday hardworking American citizens, and it looks like it's going in that direction. It's not an easy fix. None of this stuff is an easy fix. It's not an overnight fix. But as long as we're going in the direction that we're going, we should be good. We should be good. And so far, the illegal immigration has come down, and that's a wonderful thing. And that's number one. And I'm glad that we got these illegals leaving, and I'm glad we got them, and we shipping them out of here and sending them back where they came from. Good, and I'm great on that one. I'm glad that a lot of executive orders that was put in, we put a stop to it. All of them, these botting and them trying to have all these funding to just basically police everyday gun owning citizens with all of the stuff that they were trying to do. Yeah, you're right, Melissa, they do. And the other thing is that and trying to police gun owners, everyday honest citizen gun owners. I'm glad Trump is putting a stop to all of that. I'm glad he's putting a stop to all of these EPA regulations and all of these diesel regulations and all of this. When you're trying to get contracts and bills and stuff, I'm glad he's getting rid of all of that, half of that, most of that red tape. And believe me when I tell you, everybody has their opinion about it, but the direction that Trump is going right now, after about a year, you should start seeing the results of it. And it's going to be great. It's going to be great. Yeah, at the end of the day, when you look at all of these politicians, and my thing is this, the amount of wealth that the Democratic politicians have accumulated over the years is staggering compared to their paychecks. It is staggering. I don't care. I have a problem with nobody being a billionaire. Personally, I do not care if you're a billionaire. I don't feel one way or the other. If you built some type of industry and you made some type of idea, if you was in real estate or whatever business you was in, and you became a millionaire, billionaire because you provided a service that people wanted, kudos. I'm happy for you. But I 100% disagree with any politician, rather than you a Democrat or a Republican, obtaining that amount of wealth and your paycheck is ridiculous as it compares to your paycheck. So no, you are a public servant. That means you work for the people 24/7. What other businesses are y'all running, and what other crime speeds y'all got doing to win wealth yourself to the level that y'all? There is no reason why Nancy Pelosi should be worth $200 million. No reason. Your check is $200,000 a year, roughly. You would have to work 3,000 years to make that much money on your paycheck. And a lot of the other ones, it does not, the math does not add up. The only thing that math add up to is crime. That's it. Theft and stealing, inside trading, all of that type of stuff. That's the only way you're going to make it there. I'm on the stock market all the time, and I'm telling you, unless you got inside information, you're not going to make that type of money. You got to know what's going to happen before it happens. Simple as that. If you ran a business and you got, I don't care about that. I really don't. I have no problem with that. I don't care what side of the spectrum you're on. If you ran a business and you got there, you provided some type of service and you got there, that's great. But as a politician, I don't care if you're Republican or Democrat, I got beef with that. Because you work for if you're a public servant and you work 24/7 for the people, you shouldn't be doing nothing else but for the people. That's it. And the minute you start enriching yourself by laundering money and scamming people out of money and doing all of the sneaky stuff that we've been seeing these politicians do, and they're getting away with it, the unfortunate part is by far more on the Democratic side than I see on the Republican side. And I know Donald ain't going like that, but that's okay. Because the vast majority of the wealth that is accumulated by politicians is mostly on the Democratic side. You cannot justify the Clintons being worth $200 million. You can't. Nancy Pelosi, you can't. They didn't do anything but public service. And they that wealthy. Trump was a billionaire before he even ran for president. They have a right to. I don't have a problem with that. I don't care if you're a billionaire. Because you know how you become a billionaire because people paying your money, paying private money to you. If I started the Ford company and I became a billionaire, it's because I made something and I provided something that people wanted. So I don't have no beef with billionaires. I'm good with it. If you're a billionaire and you make it that way, great. I don't have no beef with it. I don't care if you're Democrat, Republican, any of that. You provided something, people was willing to pay for it. You have every right to the dollar. I don't think billionaires should be taxed differently. I don't think that they should have to pay differently. I think it should be fair across the board for everybody. I don't think so at all. As a whole, when government spends money, I don't think nobody should be paying taxes until they become more responsible. Simple as that. So I don't have a beef with nobody. If you're a billionaire and you got there that way, I want to know how you got there. Tell me how you got there. Maybe you give me some information to help me get there. So I don't have no problem with nobody being a billionaire. Trump or anybody else. Kudos, great. You made money, great. And that's great. Listen, I don't have no beef with nobody being a billionaire. I don't. If you provided some type of service and you provided some type of thing, because at the end of the day, in order for you to be a billionaire, there's going to be people that's going to work for you too. And they're going to make a paycheck or some type of lifestyle. So you're providing something. Who are the Proud Boys? I don't even know what you're talking about. You mean, you're talking about, I don't know what you're talking about. What the Proud Boys got to do with what we talking about? But yeah, like I said, I don't have no problem with that. To me, tell your story and let somebody else might come up with some and encourage somebody else. I mean, I know who the Proud Boys is, but when you start talking about the Proud Boys, I don't know what you're talking about. I know what you're talking about, but what they got to do with me? What do the Proud Boys got to do with me? I mean, I know what you're trying to spin about Trump with the Proud Boys, but how many times has Trump denounced the KKK? I got video after video after video on my page, and I've seen it hundreds of times. That Trump saying he already denounced it. So I don't know where you're getting this from. I mean, I know where you're trying to go with it, but if Trump said he ain't for it, then he ain't for it. I ain't going to sit there and try to make him for it. If he say he ain't for it, I don't care about no Proud Boys. Do America got some people that want to be racist? Yeah, they do. But guess what? I can care less. He didn't pardon the Proud Boys. He pardoned the January 6ers. Ain't that what y'all called them? The January 6ers? Now they the Proud Boys? Now they the Proud Boys? January 6ers. My thing is this. Regardless of whether he pardoned them or not, they all suffer something. I don't care that he pardoned them. Honestly speaking, they all went to jail. Every last one of them that he pardoned was in jail. So I don't care. Honestly, I don't really care. They suffered something. They didn't get away with it. They suffered something. So you know what? If he pardoned them and they the Proud Boys, that's cool. I ain't got no beef with that. Honestly, I really don't. They suffered something. It ain't like they got away with it. They was in jail, so he had to get them out of jail by pardoning them. And they was in jail for quite a while. So at the end of the day, yeah, Melissa, I agree with you. I get it. But he want to make a point. He want to make them the Proud Boys. He can make them the Proud Boys. But at the end of the day, the Proud Boys still went to jail. My thing is this. A couple of them, and my thing is this. They all suffer something. But none of the people on Biden's side suffered anything. But if we want to be fair about it, Fauci didn't go to jail. Joe Biden's son didn't go to jail. What's up, Joe? How you doing? God bless you. Joe Biden's son didn't go to jail. So he got away with it. It ain't like he suffered something and went to jail and dealt with it and got out. What he did was he pardoned him after he repeatedly said he wasn't. So my thing is this. The people that Joe Biden pardoned, they didn't suffer anything. They didn't lose anything. So why is it okay for them to Joe Biden to do it? Now the people that Trump pardoned, they were in jail. They suffered something. They lost jobs. They lost money. They lost time with their family. They suffered something, which is what they should have done. If they did something wrong, they did go to jail. They suffered something. They didn't just get away with it. But on the other side, they got away with it. And not one Democrat on their side is saying that Joe, you was wrong. He should be sitting up in jail. That's hypocrisy. And then they want to keep bringing up the January 6ers, but the January 6ers went to jail. They went to jail. No, it's all good. It's all good. That's what we do, Joe. God bless you. God bless you. Please hit the like button. Please hit the subscribe button. I appreciate it very, very much. My thing, my thing is this: is that you can't make this stuff up. But like I said, I'm right at this point. So far from what I see from the administration. All these racist, far-right, racist gangs that have common beliefs as you. So, am I racist? Is what you're saying? Johnny, you call me racist, Donald. Oh man, that's funny. Donald, you have I don't know if you calling me racist or not, but I'm gonna tell you something. That is I can't explain to you why that's so funny, but it is extremely funny. And right now, I guarantee you that I got family members that are cracking up laughing right now. Because that's an inside joke. Real, that's funny. That's funny. Well, here's the thing. Everybody has their views on stuff. And my thing is this, I don't know how making America great can possibly be racist. But, it is what it is. Making America great again could possibly be racist because if I was going to be president and I wanted to make America great again and I wanted to be racist about it, if I'm going to go to racist part, meaning I'm going to say, okay, I only want to take care of a segment of people. I wouldn't do none of the stuff that Trump is doing. None of it. It wouldn't even make sense. The first thing I would not do is close that border. I would do exactly what Joe Biden was doing, which is opening up the border, dumping all these criminals and all of these crazy people into the black and Hispanic neighborhoods so they can cause more destruction, murder, killing, and everything else. That's what I would do if I was a racist. If I was a racist, I would promote abortion in the black community. Why? Because that way I know that y'all gonna keep off of y'all, and that way y'all won't populate the earth no more. It'll be less of y'all. So I keep opening up abortion clinics in all of your neighborhoods so that y'all can. But it makes the almost guarantee that y'all gonna do it. I will make sure that y'all financially devastated. That way, that'll be the motivation to off your baby because I know you can't afford to take care of it. If I was a racist. If I was a racist. And these are the necessary steps that I would take. That way you would self-kill and then I would tell you that the country don't really like you, and I would tell you to hate your country. That way you don't benefit from all of the great things that the country has and make you hate each other, and that way you'll be demotivated and that you think you're a victim, so you'll be less motivated to make something of yourself, and you become more hopeless of yourself. And therefore, you're going to rob and steal and take from each other. If I was a racist, that would be the way I would take it, because then all I have to do is sit back and watch it all happen, and I'm not even the one involved. All I'm doing is being a puppet master, pulling the necessary strings for you to do the work for me. I'm not saying you're really saying I'm racist. I'm laughing about it. But if I was a racist, that's what I would take. That's the direction that I would take if I was a racist. I wouldn't take the direction that Trump is taking, because the direction that he's taking and stuff that he's doing is going to be more beneficial. It'd be just as beneficial to the black and Hispanic community, who I possibly might not like, than I would the other way. Because that way they're going, if I bring down gas prices, let's just say he happened to bring it down to a low, then that means that black and Hispanic people will have more money to go do other stuff and possibly progress, because now they have more money in their pocket because gas prices are cheaper. If I somehow or another I manage to get no tax on tips and no tax on this and no tax on that, that's going to help black and brown people, because they're going to have more money and they might possibly become more independent of the welfare system that I keep promoting in their neighborhood, so they won't be motivated. See, that's where it doesn't make sense, because if he was a racist, that's the direction that I would take, because that's the direction that's been taken so many years, and that's the reason why that the black community and Hispanic community by and large have the same problems, because that's the direction that the KKK has always been taking. It's to keep it works, because now you don't have to go murder and kill, because now you put them in a predicament that they will almost guarantee that they're going to do a lot of it themselves. That's what a real racist would do. But I will hide it. I'm not going to let you know that I'm the one pushing the stream, because if you see my face, you're going to know that what's the real problem, what the real job is. So what I have to do is I'm going to have to entrust I'm going to have to recruit a few of the familiar faces, so you'll trust my system even more. So I'm going to let a few be okay. And that way I get the vast majority of them by far more. And that's how I would do it. But it is what it is. And honestly, when you look at it and you see how they're using it and you see what they're doing, you know it works, and it's working very, very well. Because they get a few black faces, people like Reid and some of these other Al Sharpton and Roland Martin and all of these people that come around and holler racist every time you turn around. They get people like that to make you miss the real picture. And what ends up happening is, bam. And then we seeing it happening every single day. And when you see it happening every single day. But they will use people like Al Sharpton. And you go look at where Al Sharpton and Roland Martin and all of them get their money from. You go look at where they're getting their money from. And you're going to find out. You don't never see, rarely ever will you see black women standing outside of an abortion clinic protesting that we should have, pushing abortion. You rarely see black women out there saying we want abortion outside of any situation. Where do you see it, by and large, black women saying, oh, we're promoting abortion? You see white women, and I'm not trying to I'm pointing out a fact. The ones that push abortion by far and most is white women. The black women is the most ones using them as the customers by far and more. So you telling me that when you see people pushing abortion, it's by far and more white women. But most of the customers are black women. But you don't see the black women out there saying we want abortion. They're the customers. It's the white women, the white liberals that keep saying it. But you don't see that as racist. Yes, you're right, Melissa. 100. That was the whole purpose behind Planned Parenthood. And who runs it? Mostly pushes it, mostly white women. And that is it. That is how you that's how you pull off racism. By acting like you're helping the community and they don't even realize that you're helping them to self-destruct and keep their numbers down. Yes, you're right, Melissa. We are still sitting around the same rate as we was probably 50 years ago. We would have doubled in that time. And that's the point that I make about the Democratic Party. By and large, the Democratic Party is ran by people what I would consider the KKK, because they're doing exactly what the KKK has been doing for years. They just got smart. Instead of pulling out whips and hanging and stuff like that, which is by large, that's a bigger problem now, because now you got the government to say, no, we're not having that. So they got smart. They found a slicker way to do it. They found a slicker way to do it. And what ended up happening is, bam. It worked well, because you see it. You see the crime in the community. You see all of the violence in the community. You see all of the poverty in the community. And you see everything that they're working to make it happen in the community, and it's happening. Kamala Harris is not black. She never identified as black. People tried to make her black, but she never said she was black. Kamala Harris identified as Indian or something like that. You tell me where Kamala Harris said she was black. See, black people tried to make her black. She never said she was black. She just went along with the program. And when Joe Biden said when he announced her as vice president, he did not announce her as the first black. He said Indian descent or something like that. He never said anything about black. Birth certificate did not say black. So, Donna, you might want to research, go back and recheck that one. You might want to recheck that one. See, what happened is, Donna, I don't know if you black, white, anything, but one thing I can say about the black community, you can be whiter than white. And this is real about black community. You can be whiter than white. And if you start acting like you black, they going to embrace you like you black. They're not going to say you not black. They just going to embrace you like you black. They're not going to say, oh, and my thing is, it doesn't matter. If you, meaning that culture-wise, if they see you having swag or something like that or something that's related to them, they're going to embrace you. That's why Kamala Harris easily was able to pull that off amongst the black community, because she didn't have that say she was black. They just embraced her like she was black. That's it. That's it. I remember growing up as a kid. Now, it wasn't very rarely we have any white people where I grew up at. North Philadelphia at that time was very, very, probably 95% black. But there was this one guy named Mike, and we used to call him White Mike. Right? We all called him White Mike. But listen to what I'm trying to tell you. Yeah, Joe, I'm from Philly. Listen to what I'm trying to tell you. White Mike used the N-word just as much as the black people use the N-word, and nobody got mad at him. Because in their eyes, white, even though we called him White Mike, he was black in their eyes. So it had nothing to do with his skin color. They embraced him because he was like family to them. That's it. Alany High. I went to Alany. What's going on, Joe? God bless you. God bless you. Welcome in. I know I said it already, but God bless you. Please hit the like button. Please hit the subscribe button. And so if you're on this live, I appreciate you very, very much. Oh, okay, cool. That's what's up. Yeah, I grew up in North Philly. I'm from North Philly. If you're familiar with Broughton area, that's pretty much my demographic area. That area, no, if you know anything about North Philly, you ain't gonna find a whole, and you might find a little more now because a lot of the faces have changed around there. So you do see a lot more white people there than you used to see. But back then, in the 80s and 90s, they were trying. Before that, they were running away. Oh, okay, God bless you. God bless your family. Welcome in, welcome in. But yeah. So if I'm racist, that would be my move. I'm just saying. And here's the thing: we all got an opinion about racism. I mean, and my thing is this. My thing is this: is that if we're gonna be honest, let's be honest. If we're gonna be on this out and we're gonna talk about racism and stuff like that, racism is not just a white thing, because every race got racism in it. Every race got some form of racism in it. So you can't just look at one race and say, they racist, and then look at other ones. When I hear people say, oh, black people can't be racist, that is a bunch of crap. Black people can be racist just as much as anybody else. As a matter of fact, a lot of times you find black people more racist to their own than they are to someone else. And we're going to be honest. And that's real talk. Because there are a lot of black people that don't like other type of black people behavior. And I'm not saying that they're so much about racist, but everybody in some form or fashion exercises that type of stuff. Now they might not want to admit it, because that's sometimes people don't want to talk because it's too sensitive or whatever. Oh, I do. I do, Donald. I do. Right in North Philly, I do it. And I ain't afraid of nobody. And guess what ended up happening? Just so you know, Donald, I did it so well that I got almost 1,200 people to vote for Trump. And that's real talk. Yeah, that's exactly where I was campaigning at. When I was talking about, I was taking to the street, I was right in my own neighborhood talking about Trump and telling and educating my people on the political system and what's really going on. And in return, I got almost 1,200 people to convert, and they ended up voting for Trump. So yeah, I don't let people fearmonger me because of that. Right, because I said the best way for Trump to win is to go into hostile territory, just like Trump was doing. He went into hostile territory. And guess what, Donald? If you don't believe me, then I am. If you go look at some of my old videos, you're going to see that I was actually when Trump came to Philly, no Philly at Temple thing, I was there. I got video of me being outside. I was there. When J.D. Vance came to Philadelphia and South Philly, I was there. So I'm not just talking that I wasn't there. And all of these are Philadelphia events. So if you don't think I was actually campaigning in Philadelphia, you sadly mistaken. You go look at some old videos. You're going to see me with recordings of me recording live when he was in Temple, down North Philly on Broad Street, and when J.D. Vance was in South Philadelphia. So I'm not just talking out the side of my face. I was actually campaigning. And I was on the team captain. And I went to the meetings. They opened up one in Northeast Philadelphia, and we had one in Westchester. Unfortunately, I'm a Steelers. Well, fortunately, because I'm still like my Steelers. I like the Eagles. Don't get me wrong. I got no beef with the Eagles, bro. But I'm a Steelers fan. Steelers are my football team. Started when I was in the 70s. My dad got me interested in football. Yeah, when Steelers are out of the way, then I root for the Eagles. But as long as they're out of the way, when football starts, I'm Steelers. If they don't make it, they get there to the point when they're out the way, then it's like, okay, then I ride with the Eagles. That's always been my thing. I don't know what you mean by the church in the streets. I was on the streets. I don't go in no churches. I go to the streets. Oh, okay. Okay, Joe. But God bless you. God bless you. So you're an hour. Like I said, if you go look at my old videos, Donald, you're gonna see that I was outside. I didn't go inside. Now I don't do a whole lot of videos of me talking to every single body, because one thing I don't like is I don't like just popping up people on cameras. But yes, I was out there real talk, converting people over there, and a lot of people that I was talking to ended up voting for Trump. Oh, you in Lancaster? Hey, Joe, are you a gun guy? I'm assuming your name is Joe and you're a guy, but if I got that wrong, sorry, because I know there's some females named Joe. Oh, okay. Then you should check out. Have you ever been to Mainline Armory? That's in Fraser, like Paoli, Fraser, in that area. You should check that out. It's nice, man. It's real nice. You should check it out. It's in Fraser, PA, right off of Business, not too far off of Business 30. Like I said, like Paoli, going in that area. But if you Google it, Mainline Armory, you'll check it out. It's real nice, man. It's a nice gun range, an indoor gun range, but you'll like it. Oh yeah, it's not. Yeah, I guess it is. It's yeah, I guess it is. But I don't know. Check it out anyway. You might decide to take a trip there. You might decide to take a trip there. That's what when I go to an indoor gun range, that's where I go. That's where I go. But if you're on this live, please hit the like button. Please hit the subscribe button. I appreciate it very, very much. Oh yeah, I know. I've been to Lancaster, up in Lancaster area quite a few times. Well, yeah, especially Shady Maples. How far are you from Shady Maples? If you even know who that is, I know you got to know what Shady Maples is. Oh, that's what's up, man. Okay, so okay, all right, cool. So so cool. Now, well, yeah, I guess you still would be far from there, but yeah. So I know kind of got an idea where you at because I've been to Shady Maples a few times. Me and my cousin actually sometimes we'll go even on his birthday once or mine on it because both of our days are like one day apart from each other. But if depending on what day it falls on, we try to shoot there together because you know one person get to eat. If your birthday is that day, you get to eat free there. All right, I'm not too familiar with the Green Dragon is, but I've been up in that area, man. But I appreciate you being on this live. I don't know. I mean, depending on if I'm in the area, whatever, you know. Oh, okay. I gotta check that out. Yeah, I gotta check that out. One day, if I ain't got work on a Friday, I'm gonna have to check that out. That's what's up, Joe. One day, if I ain't got to work on a Friday, I'm gonna check that out. I don't like spending money, but I'll go and check stuff out just to be newsy. I go when I spend money, I go through like buyer's remorse kind of. No matter what I do, it's just something in me. I don't like spending money. I'm cheap. But yeah. But that's what's up, Joe, man. But anyway, like I said, you know, God bless everybody. I appreciate y'all. Melissa, Donald, Joe, all of you guys, y'all. Thank y'all. And everybody else that's on this live, I appreciate y'all for hanging out with me. Oh, it is. Now, Don, you know you can't prove if somebody racist or not. Let me stop joking around. Joyce, God bless you. God bless you. Melissa, God bless you. God bless you. God bless you. All of y'all, everybody. Appreciate y'all coming on this live. Appreciate y'all hanging out with me. Great. For real. Donald, appreciate you, man. God bless you. Joe, hopefully one day, man, we get to meet. Because I clearly see we're not really too far from each other. We pretty much in familiar areas. But Don, I appreciate you guys. Really do. Appreciate every single one of y'all, man. Like I always tell people, if you don't have Christ in your life, please get him. At the end of the day, we can talk what we want to talk. I'm down on all y'all. Appreciate all of us, all the communication that we have to each other. Melissa. What's up, Poland? How you doing? God bless you. God bless you. God bless you. And like I said, if you have one, please keep Christ in your life. If you don't have him, get him. Doesn't matter what we say, what we do. Without that, we have nothing. We have nothing. We have nothing. I appreciate all y'all, but I got to get ready to get up out of here. And I appreciate y'all. I'll be back Wednesday. Maybe sooner than Wednesday, but guaranteed definitely on Wednesday at 6:30 p.m. I'll be back. But I might do a few lives before then, but we'll see how the days are going. But y'all have a blessed, wonderful day. God bless y'all. God bless y'all. Donald, Melissa, all of you guys, y'all have a blessed day. Appreciate y'all. Y'all have a good one. Peace.